figure out a way to get, Lucy in so that we can.
Yeah, I'd like to see her since I have not yet.
No, so. I know. That's why I'm like, maybe we can figure something out. So.
Yes.
That would be really good.
It would be.
She's like such a firecracker, and so now we're.
It's a fun time, though.
Yes. Now we're in our Coco Melon time, which is. There's a song that Brian found that has been on repeat, and it is the dumbest song, but he loves it, and it's the belly button song.
Oh.
And it's all about having a belly button.
I love it.
It's a stupidly catchy song, too, so. Yeah.
So what are we doing, Mike? Questions and then...
Disneyland 70.
Disneyland 70.
I think Pam might know a thing or two about that.
Yeah, just a few things. I was eating, sleeping, and breathing
Disneyland 70. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Figure that'll be easy since I don't feel good.
Cool.
Cool.
Short shows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, if you guys have questions, put them in the comments. We need questions. All right, here we go. Feeling a little under the weather today, so it's going to be a struggle. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
2, 6. Welcome to episode 2695 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. We are back together to answer your listener questions. So if you have a question and you're tuned in live, which I see we have quite an audience already, please drop your questions in the comments and you'll be one of the stars of the show. At least you'll be internet famous for at least a good 3.5 minutes, and we love that. So today we have the OG crew from assembled from kind of all around the world. It's exciting. So joining us from down in the greater Atlanta area from the mouseforless.com and at DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, we have Rikki. Rikki, what's going on?
Hey. I'm excited to answer some listener questions today. So, bring them on, people. Let's go. Let's do this.
Glad you are here. We also have Pam Forrester, owner of the Magic for Less Travel, who was at Disneyland, celebrating Disneyland 70, which we're going to talk about on Friday. But today, coming to us live from Walt Disney World. So where at Walt Disney World are you, Pam? What's up?
Can you tell from my background or not?
I have an idea.
Contemporary? No.
Not contemporary.
Is it Boardwalk?
Not Boardwalk, but it is a deluxe villa resort.
Nice.
In the Disney Springs area. In fact, I can walk over to Disney Springs.
So you're at Saratoga?
I am at Saratoga.
Awesome.
Yes,
cool.
And I'm sitting here on the couch, which for those of you who stayed here in a one-bedroom or larger knows, it folds down and there's a bed there. Well, it pulls down, not folds down. I always want to tell people, like, if you're staying at select deluxe villa resorts, it's not, some of them at least, are not a fold-out bed with the bar in the middle of your back, right?
Yes.
They're the pull-down bed, which actually has a real mattress on basically a nice frame there. So,
We've come a long way from the bar in the back, right? Yeah.
Yes. Like you woke up and you were like crippled the next day and you're like, I can't walk, I can't move, I can't do anything. So anyways, yes, that's where I am at the lovely Saratoga. And Mike, I am overlooking the golf course. So
Easy. So give us a little mini trip report. How are things at World? We said it was hot right now.
It is hot in World right now. Yes, it is. But the parks have not been insanely busy, so I think that part is good. And I think that's sort of where we're leaning towards this summer. Like I've been looking at availability. There's still some there, so it's not too late to make summer great because there's lots of opportunities to save and enjoy. Right? I know that's a little catchphrase for the summer. It's not too late.
Let's go.
I know. I was just working on some marketing stuff before we got on here, so.
That seems very markety. Yes.
I know, right?
I like
Very
it.
catchy.
Yes.
But anyways, we have good rates available at Walt Disney World. We have great ticket pricing available at World and Land. Good rates available at Land still. You can get in and do the 70th, which we're going to talk about on Friday's show. And we've had some awesome Disney Cruise Line rates, like sort of last minute-ish Disney Cruise Line rates. So looking at those too. So
Nice.
Just saying, you should hop on the Magic July 6th. Come on. I know some people are going to be on that sailing. Let's go. It'll be fun. I'm saying, I mean, the kids' ticket deals out there for the summer, it's probably too late to have kids for that offer.
Right, because they would need to be at the
They would have to be 3 by this summer, which means too late. But I mean,
too late. Where have you been? You're late.
You're late.
maybe Disney offers that in 2029, and you're planning.
Yes, think ahead, people. How committed are you to this vacation?
That's right.
And
exactly.
save you money on your vacation.
I was committed 3 years ago, so
you knew.
But I still am not there yet. We don't have the 3-year-old yet. So
next year.
I'm still, next year I can take advantage of these deals.
You need a half-off ticket deal, which we have not seen in the whole time I've been doing this. I don't think.
No. So
do not joke with the commitment level of Disney fans.
Yeah.
Right. People now have spreadsheets out that they're calculating.
I just knew that 3 years later there would be hopefully a discount that would be like this. Yes.
Exactly.
Population schedules are being checked because of 50% off tickets.
Yikes.
Probably shouldn't have said that either. Okay.
No.
Grab one of your neighbor's kids. Come
There
on
you go.
down.
Take a grandkid or a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Grandkid, neighbor, nieces, nephews. Come on.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We got a question for Becca Singh. She's in, and we appreciate Becca Singh being here, tuned in over on Facebook, saving us all. Thank you. Hey, looking for recommendations for a place to have lunch near the beach club before heading to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Where are you going to go before? Every time I see a question about dining before the Halloween party, Rikki, you know where I'm going with this. That you were there. I think.
That meal at Kona,
where the guy was drunk and got up.
Yes.
Dressed like a pirate.
Yep.
Yes.
He looked and acted like a pirate.
He sure did.
He was plundering on the table at Kona, wanting to take over the restaurant. Like I was like, what is this, a character meal all of a sudden? And
Nope.
Right.
Best
he needed to know where the rum was.
I think he found the rum already.
100%. It's like 4:00 in the afternoon. I was like, this is the best character meal I have ever seen in my life. But I was worried he's going to pull out like a machete or something. I was like, this dude, security came. I mean, I thought they were bus boys. Nope, they were security. I mean, that was back when we used to do something every year called Epic October. That was the most epic of Octobers in those 10 minutes. I was like,
yes. And Mike was looking to book more of that character meal because he was like, what, is Kona open again tomorrow for this meal? I'm coming back.
I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner there.
Yes,
it was the greatest thing ever. I think I had pictures somewhere. I was like snapping them like the paparazzi. Okay, back to Becca's question. Rikki, what would you say around the beach club?
I mean, I think my obvious answer is going to be Beaches and Cream.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like an easy no-brainer. You've got fantastic options, burgers and chili dogs and chili cheese tots and, of course, the ice cream. I mean, I know you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and you're going to get a lot of candy, but, the good thing is you can take candy home with you.
That's true.
So you can always get ice cream at Beaches and Cream. So that's going to be my top choice is Beaches and Cream for sure.
I like
I
it.
think something besides the obvious, like if you want to go a deep cut, Pam, what would you say? I'm trying to think.
So I'll give you a couple because I will say we just had lunch here with one of our agents at the Cake Bake Shop. It has a fantastic lunch. I can't recommend the goat cheese and ham quiche enough. It's so good. The side salad, like how often do people rave about the side salad? Yeah, the side salad, legit. But also on top of it, Steve had they're famous for this like velvet chicken soup, and it's sort of like if you had pot pie, like in a soup form. I took a bite of it. It's so
Oh,
good.
you may be changing what I
I
try to do
know.
this weekend.
I
Okay,
know.
all
And
right.
even on a 90-some degree day, I was like, oh, this soup is yum. Like, yep, it was that good. But I'm going to say also, one of the things to consider when you're going to the Halloween party is to consider restaurants that are on the monorail line.
Yeah.
Because a lot that puts you within striking distance to where you want to be.
It
And
does.
that would be stuff like the aforementioned Kona.
Yes.
Every once in a while, drunk pirates.
Right. Um, but then you also have stuff like the Grand Floridian Cafe, and Steakhouse 71. It used to be known as the Wave.
Yes, it did.
So I know, right? And sometimes I still call it that.
But that's what we do. We've been around long enough. We are entitled to call it the way.
Yes, we are.
Exactly. And if you do go to Steakhouse 71, I am telling you, the burger there, legit. Honestly, one of the best burgers on property. So you can check that out. But they have lots of other things to choose from. So consider that. And the other option to consider is something at Wilderness Lodge. Because Wilderness Lodge is just a boat ride over to the Magic Kingdom. So that's a good choice. And like even Geyser Point, that would be something you could do. Or if you want a little more fun, Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Brian and I have done that before Halloween party, and oh my gosh, it was a blast. Because we were dressed up in costume at that point, and yeah, it was so much fun. They had such a good time with us. So.
Right, yeah, you can sometimes ride a pony there during your meal. You may not know that.
You may, yes, you may.
Always fun. All right, Becky's got a question in the inbox. Hey, Mike and crew, I'm a longtime listener and so thankful for the positivity and Disney love you all bring to the world. Thank you so much. We're taking a big family trip down to the world in 28 days. My family and our 3 kids, 11-year-old boy, girl twins, and 5-year-old daughter, and my mother-in-law, Nana, are all sharing a family suite at Art of Animation. We'll be lucky if we all still love each other by the end of it.
Yes.
I like somebody that's got realistic expectations for their vacation.
Go in.
Amen. Amen. And by the end of this, she's an SDC person, so I get it. She's one of my people here. So yeah, absolutely. Because Nana and they might kill each other in the suite. My sister-in-law and her family are also joining us. We all got the free quick service dining plan deal. My question is, where can we get the best quick service breakfast on the Skyliner? I'm thinking this will be for the mid-trip morning when we take it a little easy after attempting rope drops with 3 preteens and 1 teenager. So time's not really an issue, except I guess I should take into consideration what time places stop serving breakfast. It's just one other question, but what would you quick service breakfast for the preteens and teenager?
It's got Primo Piatti.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Yeah.
It's the fanciest, nicest, best food. I mean, it checks all the boxes.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, they're staying at Art of Animation, though? Is that where they're staying?
Yeah.
I mean, Art of Animation does have a great breakfast.
It's
so,
They're Caribbean Beach. I mean, the kind of 1A, 1B. I would say.
I was going to say we're Pop Century right across.
Yeah,
So, So, but
Primo Piatto's not the answer.
Oh, Primo Piatto is absolutely the correct answer. Yeah,
it is. It has so many great choices. Just make sure when you are eating at a quick service meal, if you're over 21, you can get a drink with alcohol as your drink.
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
With these close quarters and mid-trip, take the edge off.
You may need the breakfast alcohol.
Yes, exactly. If you're under 21, you can get a specialty drink. And usually at the quick service locations in particular, the cast members can really help guide you through that. So your options may be like a smoothie or some kind of drink like that. So make sure you take advantage of all that. This is the time when you have the dining plan, whether you're getting it for free or getting it at a discounted rate, you can say yes to all the things. So try that out. But yeah, lots of great stuff there at Primo Piatti and at Art of Animation, and for that matter at Pop Century. So you have some good choices right there on the Skyliner. You're in the perfect location to take advantage of all that.
Bring a stick or a water pistol to get those teenagers up.
There you go.
That's what you gotta use. Or shaving cream. I used to use shaving cream on Page.
Man.
I have pictures of it. I'll have to post them somewhere. I'll post them in the Discord. I used to, put it on her face or on her hand and then tickle her. And she'd eventually, because she would never get up. She would hated getting up. And she'd have it all over her. And it was like couch
Gosh.
empty beds. I have a picture. She's in her little princess pajamas. It's so cute. Anyway, one random question. This will be our first trip in 4 years. In past trips, I've always taken a roll of quarters for the tolls we drive down and for penny pressing machines. I think the tolls no longer take coins, and I feel like I've heard most of the penny pressing machines take credit cards now. Do I still need to run by the bank before our trip to stock up on quarters, or can I skip that part of the pre-trip planning? Thanks so much for all you do. I listen to y'all at lunch as a reward for getting through the first half of the workday. Becky from Nashville, Tennessee. Go Doors.
I like that.
She's a Vanderbilt.
Doors?
Commodores. Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I was wondering
wow,
the same thing.
that's an odd
It is an odd thing.
basket.
To
I'm
cheer on.
picturing a door.
No, so Vanderbilt, not great at football, but they're amazing at baseball. They're one of the best baseball schools in the country. So, and this is their time of the year to shine. So go Doors. And so what is the status of, because Rikki, you drive. I don't
do.
What's the status of the pin
toll,
presser?
yes. So most of the toll stations are gone. You do a drive-through, so you'll drive through the toll, and if you have a Sun Pass, or like we have the Peach Pass, or an Easy Pass or whatever, then you're good. A lot of the almost all of the Florida tolls will utilize that to take the toll money from. But if you don't have it, it'll be toll by plate, and you'll actually get a bill in the mail in the future. Like I said, I don't have that happen to me. I have a Sun Pass actually, so but you'll get that in the future, and then you'll pay the toll that way. So most of the tolls do not have a spot where you can stop at anymore, so they just kind of have taken that all away. They know most people don't have change, and that was causing a lot of problems, and B, it's a lot easier just to send people a bill.
So funny story about that. We were down for the Give Kids World thing, right? I rented the Jeep.
Yeah.
And so I was riding my dad around because I'd take him back to the airport. Like we were, a couple times, right? Back and forth to Give Kids World and to Coronado. My dad is super old. I mean, I'm old school, but my dad is like me times 10, right? So we're going through these toll booths, and he's like, dang it, Mike, you got to go through and pay the dang toll. I'm like, now they're just going to hit the feet. They're just going to hit the plate, right? And they're just going to send me a bill. Like, they got my card on file. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's going to mail me a bill. Like, I'm going to get hit for this, but I'm just going to have to pay the bill eventually. Like,
yes.
He's like, yeah, they are. He's like, it's going to be like $90 every time you go through that thing without paying. I'm like, no, sure, it's not going to be $90. I'm like, this is a tourist city. I'm like, if it was $90 every time a car went through here, I'm like, I would be reading about this all the time on social media or like in the newspaper. I'm like, I swear, he made me, like, he was kind of late for his flight. We had to go through, he's digging money out of his wallet, and he's got, I have kind of the same wallet, except I've kind of changed to like a Pop Sockets wallet now with only like 4 cards and like in the 2000s. But he has like the old man wallet, right? With like 100,000 things, pulling it out to try to find ones to feed the lady, because there's like one lady in that one, far thing.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Craziest thing. I'm like, dude. And so,
they even have signs that say toll by plate.
Right. Well, I don't even know if they had that. I didn't see him. I didn't care. Because, the 7 other times he wasn't with me, I'm right down the middle of things. It didn't matter at this point. I'd already gone through the dang thing 7 times, but he wasn't with me. I mean, I'm like telling him,
right.
Doing? I'm like, dude, we're fine. No. He's like, dang it. I thought he was going to grab the wheel on me. And pull that thing over to the right to the, where, pay the toll thing. I'm like, just sit. Almost grabbed his seatbelt and just like pulled it real tight and like, dude, what's going on? You're the passenger. That's why dads and sons should not be riding.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
Too much alike. We're too much alike, except that. I was like, just sit back because we'd hear about it. Anyway, what's the status of the press pennies?
I also don't think that they take change anymore. I think
the vast majority of them don't. But I will not say all, because
exactly, yeah.
I think there's a random one every now and then that you run into. So I can't say that there isn't There aren't a few.
random one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that still use the quarters and pennies, but I think the vast majority of them you can use your credit card, and they actually use copper blanks
Yeah.
instead of the pennies,
I agree.
because it costs more to make a penny apparently than they're worth.
It's a racket, yeah, at this point. And Justin, my good buddy down in Tampa, says you can bring a couple coins, toss into the wishing well,
Oh, that's
Right.
good.
make a
And
wish.
they do give those to Make-A-Wish, right? Or
Yeah, they
Kids
give them to
the
Give Kids the World, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw a wish out there for the Be Our Guest podcast. Become number one in the entire world. While you're at it. All right, Thomas has a question. We love Thomas. Hey, BOGP crew, I'm thinking of a little trip to Hilton Head this summer, but I doubt I can get a DVC room. Could I still visit Disney's resort if we aren't staying there? Can we dine, shop, walk around, etc.? Pam Forrester, what do you think?
So I don't know if there will still be availability. For those of you who don't know, even if you are a DVC member, if you want to book with cash, you can book through our agency, and we do book folks at Hilton Head. In fact, I've stayed at Hilton Head a few times, paid cash for those stays, because it is hard to get, especially during busy times.
It's hard to get with cash a lot of times too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I try. Yeah.
Period. You have a better chance though, probably. So, anyways, so for those of you who don't know, the DVC Resort in Hilton Head actually has the main location, sort of where the lodge is and the where you stay, and that part is actually not on the ocean. They then have a beach house, which is across the road a ways, where you can go, and that's where the beach is. They will let you come and visit the part where you can stay. They have a small shop there. I don't want you thinking it's anything big, because it's not. And they have a quick service restaurant. And that's really about it. You can sort of walk around. You won't be able to use the pool or anything like that. But the beach house, they are pretty protective of that. And you actually have to scan to be able to come into the beach house area, whether you're coming in from the ocean side or coming in from the road side. So they sort of really protect that area, but you will be able to go to the main location, and you can walk through. It sort of sits in the marsh, the lowland, as they say, and it is kind of cool to see it. The accommodations are really cool. I love seeing like the balconies and stuff like that, and just sort of walking around. It does feel very Disney-esque.
Does.
But yeah, there's not a ton to see there, so I just don't want you to be disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I did that. A long time ago. I mean, it was right after we moved here to Georgia, and so we took the trip over that direction, and we walked in and saw the resort and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not a lot. It's definitely just just like a hotel basically. And
Yep.
but yeah, we grabbed a snack. I have a Hilton Head mug that a coffee mug that I bought, that kind of thing. So that I had that. So I'm like, yes, I've been here. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not a whole lot to see. It's really just, you're going to see what the hotel looks like, and that's kind of it. So
Is Hilton Head the place that had the famous dog? Maybe so.
yes.
Yes.
Is he still
Yes.
around?
No.
No.
Shadow.
Shadow, yeah. No.
I know, it's kind of sad.
No, poor one out. I love my dog. That's it.
Thanks for bringing that up. Like,
Yeah, way to go.
Bring down the show.
It's a great show. We had the pirate, Kona, on top of the table, me grabbing my dad, like, shut up, we're going through the express lane. Just stick with it. And then we had Shadow. Oh my
Poor
God.
Shadow,
This show takes you on an
R.I.P.
emotional roller coaster right in your midweek. Strap in. We're getting you ready for summer this weekend. All right, Becca's got another question. She's here, and I like it. It says, I recently listened to your episode on tips for resort hopping. Would love any advice for park hopping. So not because I messed that one up, like apparently in the Discord, everybody's like, Mike, you said park hopping like 7 times during the resort hopping show, which, I mean, if I only said it 7 times, bonus, because my wife points that out all the time. So park hopping, I mean, okay, let's all give our number one tip. I'm going to go first because you'll snake mine. So number one park hopping tip is if you buy it, use it as much as you can, and don't buy it halfway through the trip. Buy it early and use it often, because it costs the same whether you buy it on day 3 of a 5-day trip or if you buy it immediately. So it's an all or nothing proposition. So if you're going to spend the money on it, buy it, use it as much as you can. So take advantage. That's what I
Yeah,
say.
I think that's a good tip. I think, the best way to utilize a park hopper is probably when you're taking a midday break. So that way you go to one park in the morning and then break and then go to a second park in the evening. That's probably the best way to handle park hopping, in my opinion.
I agree, and I schedule my dinner at the park I hop to
Yeah,
in the evening usually. That's
yeah,
kind of how I do it. But I'm an old man. Okay, go ahead.
that's true.
I mean,
We do. And you eat early.
Yeah,
I do it at
exactly.
4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think some of my best park hopping tips are use it to visit the park that is open the latest.
Yeah.
So even if it means you go to a third or a fourth park that day, especially if you're visiting the Animal Kingdom, there will be other parks that are open late. Take the opportunity to go in and see those Magic Kingdom fireworks again, because the Magic Kingdom is typically the park that's open the latest. Go see those fireworks for the second, third, fourth time. Go do Phantasmic again. Go do Luminous at Epcot, but take advantage of that. I think that's one of the biggest ways to look at the value of a park hopper is that you'll be able to visit parks with extended hours, even longer. And when you think about it, I mean, I'm sure that there's someone out there doing the math, but like the price per hour, like it's going down, right? As you're using it to its fullest. If you get a midnight, or even if you qualify for the evening extended hours and you take advantage of those, I'm sure that you get your price point per hour down fairly low. So
Who has the energy for all that? But no.
come on, there's a big mathematic equation
There
somewhere,
is.
I'm sure.
All right, we got a question here from Adon, who's tuned in over on YouTube. We appreciate that so much. And we're going to talk about this all kinds of stuff on Friday, but just a little preview since you're here. Planning to visit Disneyland in June of 2026. When will the 70th celebration end? It should, because I think it's they've announced like an 18-month celebration, right?
They have not announced an end date.
That's what I was gonna say.
Ever. Like, it'll be like the year of a million dreams.
Yeah.
7 years of millions of dreams.
Let's hope that it's gonna last at least 12 months. And
Yeah.
Until those big keys run out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. So 12 months would really only put us May to May.
Right.
I hope that they're going to go a year at least from the actual anniversary,
I was
but
hoping
we
the
don't
same.
know. But
Yeah.
we just don't know. But yeah,
It's Disney. I think you're going to be okay.
I hope.
I mean,
I hope.
I'm not. Nobody's asking me, but I'm just saying. I think you're going to be probably. And Christy had a little feedback here. Tip for tolls: if you're renting a car, especially as an international guest, you can get a visitor toll pass at kiosks at MCO. Saves a lot of money compared to paying the fee to the rental car company. It's at
That's true.
visitortollpass.com.
That's also a big helpful tip. Yeah.
Only paid like $9, I think. I mean,
Yeah,
Not
for
90,
a lot
right?
of the.
not because I'd have had to tell my dad not to eat crow. You know.
I want to hear what your dad is telling his friends. He's probably like,
Oh, yeah.
my son spends money like a drunken sailor.
Yeah.
He's like,
$90 every time
tolls,
he goes
tolls,
to-
tolls.
I should have looked at his Facebook because I guarantee you the whole flight home, because I dropped him off at the airport and then I drove back to Coronado. By the time those wheels were up, because I guarantee he probably is too cheap to buy the internet on the flight because it was $8. But he probably, before they took off, so he didn't have to turn off his Wi-Fi yet, he probably posted.
Oh, yeah.
My son
And he
talked to
told his
He told
seatmates
his
all
already.
about you.
Yeah.
$270 now and already going back to dropping me off from the airport.
When will he learn?
He thinks he's Daddy Warbucks down here in Florida. I should have looked. All right, Terry's got a question over the inbox. Hey, we're going to be staying at Beach Club in September. When will we know the dates of the extended evening hours for Deluxe Resort guests for the month of September? Trying to plan lightning lanes and dinner reservations, and it would be super helpful to know which dates and which parks will offer extended evening hours. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
hope typically to know them at that 60-day mark when you can start making ADRs and stuff like that. But we don't always. So
No. Disney's not the best at sharing those details for some reason. They
Right.
just really aren't. So ironically enough, the planning details that people want to know, they are terrible at relaying. Like, I saw somebody today asking about 4th of July fireworks and when they'd know the times, and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to know those until probably like a couple weeks before because they're terrible at releasing that too. So yeah, Disney's just really awful at sharing details, and you just got to kind of keep looking, and they'll be there eventually. So
Then will be.
it's frustrating for planning, and I get that, but
Sort of look at the schedule that's, been happening. That is what they typically sort of keep to, although we have seen that they've, on certain dates, they sort of switch the parks that
especially
are
in
offered.
September because
Yes.
of the Halloween party.
Halloween
So
party.
yeah, they may
Yeah.
switch the park, they may switch the day, so just kind of keep that in mind too. But yeah,
So
we won't-
one of my guests that listens to the show had a question just this afternoon, and I thought I'd throw it out here to you guys. I didn't have a great answer. They have a super late homecoming reservation. I think it was like 8:55, staying at Saratoga. So they're just going to walk over and have dinner, but they're looking to cancel that and looking to replace it with a different reservation at Disney Springs for their family. But they need something that's 1 credit. They like seafood and steaks. Something around Disney Springs, though, they could look for. But see, I was thinking Boathouse, but that's 2.
is paddlefish
Boathouse is too.
is paddlefish 1 or 2?
I think Paddlefish, if it's on, is 2. But you know what? Since they're looking at Disney Springs, you can always consider something at Saratoga, and Turf Club is 1. Check out the menu there, though, to see if it's something that you like. I was trying to think. Why do I feel like there's one on the tip of my tongue that I am not thinking of?
Yeah,
Is
paddlefish.
Splitsville on? See, there's a few in Disney Springs that are not on
Yeah.
the dining plan. Splitsville, if it is offered, it's probably only going to be 1.
Right.
Splitsville, I think, is on the dining plan. It would be 1. It wouldn't be 2.
And House of Blues, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Dang though, none of these are replacements for Homecoming. I will just
No,
say.
absolutely
And I would
not.
keep looking to see if you can get an
I
earlier
suggest
Homecoming.
Well, I mean, there's not a good steak. There's not a great steak. But man, I take that boat down to Olivia's
There you go. That's Mike's favorite.
because you could just jump the boat. Now you'd have to jump the boat to Disney Springs and hop a different boat to Olivia's. There's not a direct boat, because it's not going to go from Saratoga directly to Old Key West. I mean, if you caught the boat or just walked over to Disney Springs, right in the marketplace, I think it's
Yes.
and then right over to Old Key West, that'd be fun. And I mean, that's got the best chicken. I mean, that's my favorite dish of all. And then they have a steak. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a steak to write home about, but it's 1 credit. And you can easily get an ADR there, and the atmosphere is killer. I love it.
Everything that I'm looking up that would be like a steak and seafood kind of replacement is a 2 table service credit. So that's kind of the difficulty there, because obviously if it's a steak restaurant and seafood restaurant,
Here's one that might work. Raglan Road. It's going to actually have both steak and seafood.
that's true.
And lots of great other choices. And I believe it is still on the dining plan, unless I'm completely wrong. Which, this is the thing. I've been doing this too long. Things stay in my mind from 10 years ago or 5 years ago about the dining plan. But I believe that Raglan Road
It is
is
one.
still on. Okay,
I just
so
looked
there.
it up. Yeah. Right.
So there, that will be both steak and seafood options there, and the fish and chips there are great.
They are.
There's some steak options, but I will tell you, I can't get away from the pot pie.
Oh.
I
You had
know.
pot pie tonight.
I
yeah.
know, right? What is happening? And I'm not going there tonight because
See, this is not right because you are sitting at Saratoga.
I know.
Brewery.
right
totally
now
go there.
I'm like I could walk over.
Exactly. When I'm done recording, I'll be editing, and you'll be like right over. That's all right. Okay. Last question of the day. Hey, Mike, husband, 2 kids, 8 and 5, and I are headed down to Disney World for a few days in June, followed by a 7-night sailing on the
Nice.
Treasure. We have a couple of questions I hope you can help us with. Question 1. What is the current grace period policy for Lightning Lane reservations? When I was last in Walt Disney World in October, I think you were allowed to tap in up to 5 minutes before your reserved window opened. And even if your window had expired, you could still tap in at any time. Rikki, what is this? I know the first part is correct.
Yeah,
The
Usually,
first part is correct. Yes, you can. You
Yeah.
do have 5 minutes. I believe it's 5 minutes. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's a grace period afterwards. You get like a 1 hour window to use it, and they expect that you will use it after that. After that, if you try to tap in, it will not show as available.
Right.
And
If there is a grace period after, it's probably that 15 minutes that it used to be like before. But that's about it.
it's probably up to cast members' discretion at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, and I think they might. I don't think it's at the attraction cast members' discretion. I think you would have to go to a Blue Umbrella
Ooh.
and actually do that. But I don't know. I could totally be wrong. But yeah, they did crack down on that a bit ago. So.
Can't have nice things. Question 2. We would love to take our kids to the Haunted Mansion bar on the Treasure during the hours it is not reserved for guests 21 and up. What is the best time to visit on C days to avoid wait times? Thanks for being such a great resource and helping us keep the Disney magic alive when we are not in the parks. Anna, you're going to have an awesome time on the Treasure. So jealous I'm rocking my Treasure hat right now. But oh, God, it's so awesome. Just take a bajillion pictures when you're in there and get the... oh my gosh, what's the name of the margarita thing that comes in the box? The Chilling Challenge. Get that. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. When to take the kids, though? I just kind of eyeball it. I mean, it's right there next to the Skipper Society place. Just honestly, I don't think it's going to be that crowded because it's a 7-night cruise. People kind of rush it early. If the cruise goes on, you'll see that it just opens up. I mean,
Yeah.
what I would
Agreed.
say.
And if you happen to have a time that you're not eating at the main dining time, like let's say there's just a night you don't want to do main dining and it's still available for all ages, then that would be a great time to go to, because when the main dining room is being sat, it's like the ship is like a ghost town. You're like, where is everybody?
Yeah, I mean, like you could be walking top deck on, and people that haven't cruised don't understand this, right? I mean, like even on the small ships, there's like 2,500 people, 2,800 people. The big ship's 4,000, and you could be on the top deck at sunrise, and you do not see a person. You're like, what is going on? Like there are, I sat in the Walt Disney Theater just last night. There were 900 people around me, and now there's nobody to be seen.
Right?
It's wild how that works out. It's the coolest thing ever. Like I've been watching all the vlogs and stuff because our cruise is coming up here soon, and like I just can't wait to get back on the ship. Sunrises at sea, sunsets at sea, walking deck 4. I'm excited because we'll get the whole deck.
Yeah.
They've been on the Magic since it launched, like a few cruises after it launched. It was Parrot. Remember Parrot Key? That was the Tangled restaurant.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Old school. All right, we're going to close this one out. We're going to be back on Friday talking Disneyland 70. Pam is going to talk about those humongo keys and what they do. I'm super locked in on those things. Like, did they have to be that big? Maybe. I don't know. The Mickey popcorn bucket. Like, I'm intrigued. It's $51. I need it, but I'm scared it'll start talking to me during the podcast.
It's also really creepy in a weird way too.
Absolutely, dude.
Reach down into his body.
Yeah, I know, and it's a bunch of levels. Yeah, I know. Like I could be sitting here like at night editing, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mike, what's going on?" I'm like,
"You're like, oh no!
I'm the only one in this house right now. You gotta knock it off, Mickey. You're freaking me out right now. It's a whole new world, baby. So I can't wait to talk about Disneyland 70, the good, the bad, the ugly. Scary. We're gonna be here, so let's talk about it. I cannot wait to get out. Paint the Night. I Paint the Night was like right before I got to go out there. Oh my, I can't wait. Anyway, you can't start that show till we end this show. So let's end this show. So we're brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We can get you out to the West Coast. We can get you in the Disneyland Hotel, Pixar Place Hotel. You want to be bougie? Grand California. I mean, right there. Boom. We're just walking right in there to
Disney California Adventure.
Yeah. That's right. Think of the letters. I'm terrible at it. Just be like, yep, I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready to
What's
get
up?
a corn dog.
I'm ready to go.
We can get a corn dog right here while I'm passing by. It's all good. all the good neighbor hotels, whatever you want to do, however you want to roll. Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line will sell that treasure. It's awesome. We'll take care of you. So swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We appreciate that so much. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, especially this past week. If you got email notifications when I release a show, my bad, because I released this week's show 7 times because Patreon made a update to the website and I couldn't figure out what was going on because I couldn't get the show to hit the feed, the RSS feed. And so Mark Yerkes is like, dude, did you release 7 shows today? I'm like, no, I released 1 show 7 times, but it never hit the feed. He's like, oh, okay. So 1 show, I think it was pretty awesome. But yeah, sorry about that, but it won't happen again. But thank you to our supporters. You get a show called Mike in the Midwest. I promise it'll just be once going forward. And you can get it for $5 a month. You get a show every week, and it's always a lot of fun. So come on over, and it's not support for the Patreon, the bonus Mike show. It's support for this, so we can do the video podcasting, so we can have 5 shows a week instead of 1 a month. It costs a lot of money, and that all goes into all this. So thank you for supporting us, and we appreciate it. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Also on social media, Be Our Guest Mike is where I am on x.com, Instagram, and Threads. Pam is at TMFLT Pam. She's all over the world. I mean, shoot, she was at Disneyland. Now she's at Walt Disney World. You got to follow her. Rikki's at Rikki Nibs. And of course, we'll have a live call-in show Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We got the new phone number. It's awesome. Love it. We had fun talking Disney. Mohawk even stayed up to like 3 a.m. talking to us from Scotland last week. It was great. Then he regretted it the next day. But hey, it's on him. All right, so we're going to talk Disneyland on Friday. Can't wait. Hope you'll be there. We'll be there, and we'll kick off summer. We usually do a summer kickoff show, but we're going to talk Disneyland. I mean, what better way to kick off summer and go to Disneyland? So that's what we're doing. All right, so until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Take that pretty good. That I wasn't crying.
Yay.
2, 6, 1, 5. Oh. Thing today. Because when I was in the hospital, they sent me home with 2 like anti-nausea medicines. Like one was called like Zolfran.
Yes.
Compazine.
Yeah.
Took 1 of each.
Oh my God.
Still not working. Yeah, no. You think we took 1 of each? Okay.
I just, when I had the stomach flu like last weekend, they gave me the Zofran and it worked real well. So
took 1 at 11, then I took 1 at like 3. I'm like, dude, that's
oh my God.
working. Or whatever. Thirsty. All right, here we go. 2, 6, 9. Friday. This is Pam's last ever teaching. She said she almost got fired today. I gotta check in.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah, she did text that. She was kids being kids. That'd be ironic.
I got fired a couple days before I was supposed to retire.
That'd be something I would do.
Yeah.
That'd be the most Mike Roman ever.
Yeah, it would.
I'll do laughing. Right there, now you can see me. Yeah. All right, here we go. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to summer. It's time for the Be Our Guest podcast, episode 2697. And when I start the show in a little bit different way, I am all off my game, but we're here. We're going to have a good time talking Disney here on a Friday as we kick off summer 2025. Hope you're ready for a great show. We are here to talk Disneyland 70. Holy cow, Disneyland celebrating 70 years out on the West Coast where it all started. And you guys know I could not be more excited to be a Disneyland fan since 2022. That was my first trip over the 4th of July. And I mean, just teasing me with all of the stuff. And Pam Forrester was just there to tell us all about it. So we're going to get firsthand scoop today. We got Scoop Forrester joining us. But first, Rikki, she takes it right to print. She has all that ink right there on her stained
Ink
fingers. She takes
stained.
it to the press. She wears a little hat that has a little press thing on the top virtually because she doesn't do that. We have Rikki. She's at the mouseforless.com and the DisneyWorldAfterAll.com where you can see all that stuff published. Rikki, welcome to summer. We made it to
Thank
another
you.
2025.
We did, yes. And for those who want to experience the beginning of summer 2025, I'll be at Walt Disney World. So I'm down there too. And tonight, if all things go to plan, which they should, we will
You
be
should
at
have
8.
never said that out loud.
I
You
know,
just
I know, I know, I know.
guaranteed it didn't.
Well, they didn't a couple years ago, which is why we're going tonight. We will be at H2O Glow after hours, so I'm really excited about this. Like I said, we were supposed to go back in 2022, but I found out I was pregnant and was very, very nauseous and sick and could not go down. So I had the tickets; they were just sitting in my account, and so I rolled them over and paid a little extra money, and so now I'm going this year. So yay! I'm really excited actually to get to experience H2O Go After Hours. So I haven't been to a water park in probably 15 plus years at Disney. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that and get to experience Typhoon Lagoon, which I haven't been to in a long time. So I mean, heck, Miss Tilly's Adventure, I think that's the water coaster there, right? That one wasn't even there yet the last time I was there, so it's been a long time since I've been there.
Was Crushing Gusher there?
Crushing Gusher was there,
Yeah.
but it had just opened up not that long before. So yeah, Crushing Gusher was there, but not Miss Tilly's. So I have a whole new water coaster I get to experience. So yeah.
Two things. Best water park, so well done.
Yeah, okay.
Typhoon Lagoon, best one. But also, apologies to everybody that tonight's H2O Glow Night will be rained out.
Yeah, this is also true. Yeah. This is how life works.
Rikki just manifested it on a Wednesday or on Monday we recorded the show. So
I did, yeah. So I really should probably check the weather forecast to see what's going on Friday now. Actually, let me do that real quick.
Tropical storm warning for Central Florida. That's how
it is the kickoff one, so I'll be there with all the bloggers and vloggers. So yeah, that'll be fun. But hopefully I'll get to enjoy a little bit of the fun with the evening and don't have to wait 20 hours for food. So
I will be watching the weather reports come Thursday night with bated breath at this point. All right, Pam Forrest is joining us again live from Saratoga Springs Resort. You cannot beat it. Pam, happy Friday. Welcome to summer.
Happy Friday. I'm excited to be here. I'm watching some golfers actually out the window.
Score!
I know, right? I want to yell stuff like, "That's not great. That shot wasn't great. I'm sorry." So, anyways, there is a pond here. Now you'd have to seriously slice it to go into the pond, but I'm sure it has happened on more than one occasion.
You've seen Scott and I golf. It
Yeah.
I mean, we there was not a villa unscathed when we played that course over at Oakey West.
Yes, so we're actually over here toward the end that are near the tree houses, which I can see a tree house out of when we walk out of the building here. So it brought me back some fond BOGP memories as I remember.
Oh my God.
We
speaking of almost a felony.
Yes, exactly. But anyways, yeah, so it's good to be here. Good to be back from land. It was just, all incredible. So excited.
These boxes behind me here in the podcast studio for people that watch live are, I mean, they're from the Treehouse meet. Like and they're just cardboard boxes. That was 2010, I think, when we did that.
Wow.
Those things have made 15 years. I mean, not only the event, which had craziness happening, they made the trip in the trailer back from Florida and a couple of, the move from the old house. Plus, they were in Mallory's Playroom, which was where the studio was for the good portion of this show, with kids playing around them constantly. I mean, there is... Yeah, the magical mouse radio M is missing. I don't know whatever happened to that. So it's just magical mouse radio. But I mean,
those dang kids.
Exactly. The lead M, but that's the worst for wear. We're good. All right. So let's talk Disneyland 70. So you got to
Yes.
go out there for a little bit of a preview, and
Yes.
I've been kind of watching on social media. I loved it. I'm excited because I'll get to see some of the stuff when I go out for the races
Yeah.
over the winter time. But Scott and I have been talking, like there's something about like warm weather, like summertime,
I know.
longer hours, and not being there for a race weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like race weekends are just logistically, you're kind of always got your mind on something else to it. You can, I mean, not you still get to do everything, but you kind of you got your mindset on other things. So just kind of lead us off. Like, what did they tell you about the like 30,000 foot idea of celebrating Disneyland's 70th anniversary?
So the whole concept of this celebration is really they're calling it Celebrate Happy. And I think that to me from the get-go, when I first learned this, that this is what they're going to be celebrating, I'm like, this is an awesome way to celebrate Disneyland's 70th. And they've really kind of themed all these things around this concept of celebrating happy. So, for those of you who haven't been to a big Disney celebration, when these roll out, you're talking new shows, new entertainment of all different kinds, new merchandise, new food, especially in Disneyland. Disneyland's great about doing that. New parades, all of that. And I think, we got a good taste of just about all of it. In fact, the last day I was out there was the day that it officially launched. So we had seen some preview stuff. But then Steve
Wait,
and I were like,
was that Steve or was that a golf ball hitting the villa? I just got to know.
it
Okay,
was
I
Steve
just want to know,
leaving.
was the golf ball smoking you out because that'd have been awesome, but it could have just been Steve cruising through.
No, it was just Steve cruising
I
through.
was like live on the scene reporting.
Right? I
Okay.
know. If we do get hit with a golf ball, I'm opening up the door and I'm yelling
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like an old hey, get off my grass. Like that.
That's right.
Okay,
I
go on.
just cut my lawn.
Exactly. I would. This is what this is all about. We're live.
So on the day the day before we traveled and we actually flew from Los Angeles here to Orlando, Steve and I were up until midnight West Coast time. We had to get up at 3 something to catch our flight
Oh,
to come here. So we got 3 hours of sleep.
how did you survive? Oh my gosh.
We just like there wasn't a thing, but we wanted to do all of the things. Like
Yeah.
there were things that we did that we knew we wanted to do again. There are things that we knew we wanted to get better photos, better video footage of, whatnot. So we ended up doing all the things on that last day. And I will tell you, as we were walking back to our room at the Grand Californian, which is the shortest walk you can get from the parks, I was still like, if I have to walk 10 more steps, that may be the limit. Like, it was just so much. But I'm so glad that we did it because there's just, I don't know, it's hard to wrap my head even now around all the things that we did and saw that day. So it was very
Yeah,
cool.
from the coverage, I mean, I'm super excited because it's definitely an all-in celebration. You're right. I mean, parades, shows, merchandise,
Yeah.
the decor, even in the Esplanade.
Yes.
Downtown Disney. It
Yeah.
happens in the resorts. It's like immediately upon getting there, the celebration has started,
Yeah.
and the color scheme is, it reminds me kind of of a '90s kind of color scheme to
It
me.
does.
It's that pastel kind of. What did you think of when you saw the logo and the Celebrate Happy? Is it Celebrate Happy? Is that what it's called?
Celebrate
Or Be
Happy
Happy?
is, yeah, the theme of it. And I agree. I loved the color scheme. I was just sort of like, okay, this, like, I can get behind. It feels very goofy movie-ish, right? I mean, and so I love that sort of like a blue and a purple and a yellow. And, I think they did a great job with that. And then one of the first things we got to see was all the decor that was already around the resorts. And like you said, Mike, it was, at each of the resorts. And you all probably saw, like, they had these huge balloon things at the Disneyland Hotel. And that was really cool. They put in a new thing in the middle of the Grand Californian lobby, which they always do. And in the Esplanade, they built sort of this, almost like a stained glass looking like depiction of the castle that has different things in it. But one of the other things they had was there was new music that was playing in that Esplanade area.
Yes, I heard this kind of like a music box
Yes.
version of Disney songs.
Yes. And it's crazy because one day it was on for like a few days before the celebration started. And I said to Steve, "Do you hear this music?" And he said, "Yeah." He's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "That's the Star Wars theme." I'm like, play music box version
Oh,
of the Star
interesting.
Wars theme.
And that's Scott and I when we go to Baseline Tap House because again,
Yes.
it's like current music, but it's like the weirdest versions of it.
Yes.
It's like that is it hurts my brain kind of. Yeah, that song is weird like that. But yeah, I guess it works.
It was. So, yeah, that was cool. So, in the kickoff for the media thing, one of the first things that we got to see was the new merchandise. And wow. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the stuff, but immediately, so, I have a few of those balloon shaped popcorn buckets.
Yes.
Well, they have yes, that. It's in a few different colors. I have the pumpkin one too, like, so some different things. So, the one that they have for this celebration is blue, but it's not just blue. It lights up. So I was like,
Stop.
oh, I think I have to get that one. And you know how much room they take up on your
Yes.
luggage, but shoot, I had to do it. So that was, I went back and forth on it a bunch of times. And then at one point, Steve had left the room, went down to the lobby to do something, and he came back with a popcorn bucket. He's like, "I know you want this. I'm just getting it."
That's exactly what happened to me with the Star Wars Stormtrooper one. Brian just went off and did something while I was doing something else. And he's like, look, you've been talking about it.
Right.
I just went ahead and bought it for you.
Yes,
It's nice that we have husbands that like get us and they're like, you know what? Just stop hemming and hawing. I bought the stupid
Just
thing
do
for you.
this.
Just do
Yes.
it. Yeah.
You need this. So that was really cool. But I get so many of you have seen like the talking Mickey Mouse popcorn bucket, which we all have discussed as sort of awesome and sort of odd. Yes,
As long as
because
he minds his P's and Q's, I'm good with him. But he has to behave. Okay, I'll be a guy turn around like when it's dark and quiet in my office.
right, I know. It's sort of weird, like that you can reach into the back of something that can talk to you and
Yes.
eat popcorn from it. But here is something else that this popcorn bucket is also sold in the lobby of the Grand Californian, and if you get it there,
wow.
it doesn't actually come with popcorn. It comes with like a cookie, which I know. So I was like, oh, this is sort of a win. So
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. So, anyways, that's where Steve went down and got it. So
Oh, so you got both popcorn buckets.
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
Oh.
we didn't get the Mickey one.
Oh, you didn't. Okay,
just
okay.
the balloon
Just the
one, but a lot of them. And I'm going to give you all a tip because the folks at Disneyland are serious about their merchandise drops,
Yes.
right? Like lines, out the door.
Yes.
It's so funny. The the Space Mountain line maybe 5 minutes. The line to get merch is like 4.5 hours. So anyways,
Like get in line at the In and Out down there on Harbor.
100%. So one of the things is to look for the places to mobile order because not only are there merchandise things, but there are also many restaurants that sell a lot of these things too. So make sure that you go ahead and look to make sure that these places aren't also selling for the mobile order because we actually noticed quite a few of them. And then the other thing that I know that you guys have seen is that key.
Yes. The big key.
Everybody is talking about this key.
I know. And it's so weird to me. Not that it's not a cool concept. Like, I like the idea of it, but it's big. Like, it wasn't just like this.
No, it's not a tiny key. It's a gigantic key.
It's like if a regular key and a lightsaber had a baby.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's exactly like you could like kill a Sith with it, and you could open the door.
Now, I have a question about the key. So you put it in each of there's different locks throughout the parks, right? And then when you unlock all of the keys or locks, whatever, with the
Well, I
key
think they're called portals.
portal, whatever they're called. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's a different park. My
That's a
bad.
different park, yes. So when you unlock, when you hit every single one, then there's
Yes.
a pin that comes out.
There is. So
Okay,
I
okay, that's how that
believe.
works.
Yes.
Okay.
This is not going to end well if there's a prize. Oh my god!
Right, I know. And I believe there's just a certain one that you have to go to last. It's sort of that heart-shaped
Oh,
one that you see, I believe. It's actually near the front of the Disneyland park. So
interesting.
I believe that I don't think you have to do them in order, but I think that one you have to hit last to get the key.
To get the pin.
Oh,
To get the pin, sorry.
did you do?
Interesting.
Because I know like they sold them, but they didn't activate them till that Friday. So did you have like practice with the key or anything? Like,
I held the key. It looks like a big Fisher Price toy. Like that's what it reminded me
does.
of. It
Yeah,
was
that-
like a huge thing, but I knew I was not going to have time to do it that day. And I'm like, I do not need one more thing to do on this specific day. So I did not get the key. But let me tell you, I think I'm in the minority because I felt like everyone and their brother was carrying around these keys. So that was cool. And I think it was really neat to see people so excited about, you know what I mean, doing something like that. It sort of forces you to explore, you know, some of the different lands. And I will tell you something else that hasn't really been publicized a ton, but so when you're at Disney World, so many people have the Magic Band Plus, right? Lots of people just tend to get them. They use them because it has so much more functionality. I think here at World that you can do so many more things with them. At Disneyland, it's probably not as big of a seller, but they've created some interactions specifically for the Magic Band Plus, and we had ours, so we were able to do them. And one of the things is in 4 different locations, attractions that were there on opening day, you can tap your Magic Band and it has this little interactive thing, but it also spits out this little card. It's sort of a retro collectible card that sort of reminds you of that. So there are 4 locations right now in Disneyland Park. They are at the Main Street Theater. They are at the Jungle Cruise. They are at, they're in Frontierland near Silver Spur, one of the little the shops there. It's on the outside. And then there's one at Autopia as well. So that's something, if you have a Magic Band, that's something that you can get it to do. And I thought the collectible cards was a really cute thing to do too. In fact, some of them have more than one card. The one in Frontierland had 3 cards. So I thought that was really cool. But I like loved that it just was sort of tapping into sort of the, you know, the fun stuff that happened on opening day there at Disneyland.
It's like new meets old, right? New technology with the Magic Band Plus, old
Yes.
nostalgic cards there, and you're going to see the celebrating the opening day attractions.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was.
it. What a smart way to get people by Magic Band Plus. Yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
so curious about those keys because those keys, though, I can't get over those keys. Like, are they going to be those glow with the show ears like I have sitting right over there on the shelf that weighed 17 pounds that everybody wore their heads for like 2 times? Like, it's awesome, but I don't want to wear them. I just want to see everybody else's head, light up in the show because you can't see your own head when it lights up on the show. And God, the pain, those things were painful. And, Pal Mickey back in the day and all the stuff that was like hot for a hot minute. I'm that kind of person. Like, I just wonder in, 9 months how the keys will go. Right? Because
I don't know.
I'm not going to.
I think because of the pin factor and that it's random, so you don't know which pin you're gonna get. Now I have heard that there's a trading station at because they do know that there are duplicates and this is a very expensive endeavor basically to get each and every time to get every single pin. So they are having trading stations available, but I have a feeling, especially for pin collectors, this is going to be a huge deal. So
that's a huge deal out there. I mean, you got that whole
Yeah.
Frontierland, like right as you walk into Frontierland on the left there situation out at Disneyland. That it's like a little unofficial store.
yeah. So I think it's gonna be
Yeah, it's
a big deal for
it's
especially for
so
pin
big.
collectors.
I mean, I don't know why
I
they're gonna
know.
be so big. That's what I keep saying. Like, they're enormous. But I mean, they're cute. Like, I wouldn't mind. Okay, here's the thing. And watch, I'll walk home with one in January or whatever, because it would be kind of cool to hang on the wall, like when you get home. But I mean, I'm not gonna walk around that thing for 5 days. It's just like, here's my key. It's just crazy looking. Anyway, we got too much to go, Pam. Go. That key is it's like it's like living in my brain rent free or whatever they say.
Yes, it is. You're going to be thinking about that key for a
I
while.
am. I can't stop.
I know. So I want to talk briefly about some of the different food thing options that they've introduced for the celebration before we get into the real stuff, which was the shows, which I'm still just like blown away. I'm like, cloud nine about these. But anyways, so Disneyland does a great job in celebrating everything with all kinds of new foods and things like that. And this is absolutely no exception. There are tons of things. So from the traditional Matterhorn macaroon that you can get at Jolly Holiday, they've sort of dip that in all kinds of the sprinkles that sort of correspond with the colors of the of the celebration. And I will tell you, we got one, and we did a photo shoot with that bad boy. So
As you should.
I know. So there were lots of things, and of course, then we ate it. So that was the best part too. But they have all kinds of really cool things, from like a special Mickey ear hat cookie to different cakes. The cakes look fantastic. All kinds of different desserts, especially this mocha cream puff that, Mike, you can get at Rancho del Zocala. So that's a cool thing. They also have a fried tamale walking taco. I know, really good. We did try that one. It was fantastic. They have some really cool looking over at the refreshment corner. They have pulled pork mac and cheese in a bread bowl. Hello.
Oh God, that's
right?
really illegal.
It's like all the things
It
in
took
one.
70 years for this to come about, ladies and gentlemen. Go get it.
Right. I know. Such good things. They have a special beignet over at Tiana's. It's a celebration beignet, and it has a raspberry mousse in it, and is as if a beignet is not good all on its own. To have a little raspberry mousse and some celebration stuff. The only thing was, after we got it and ate it, our like lips were blue. Like that blue, no joke on that. And I love, like, at the Tropical Hideaway, that's where they have sort of the Dole Whip sort of things there by this. But this had a Dole Whip with it was a pineapple Dole Whip, a traditional one, but then it had a caramel drizzle and a pineapple upside down cake. So
Man.
I know, right?
Stop right now. Oh my goodness.
There, of course, is a special churro. There's all kinds of different places that have cool coffee drinks. There is, over at California Adventure, there is a chili cheese corn dog. Hello. It's a corn dog with chili, shredded cheddar, and corn chips. I'm not sure that you can get much better than that. So that sounds really good.
Be careful when the people in your party get those. I'm just saying.
Right, I know.
Choose wisely, as they say on the treasure.
You might want to split that one.
Treasure, yes.
So lots of good stuff though to eat there, so you will have no shortage of those things. And they do a really good job of this, listing it in the places especially that you can mobile order. There's something in the little corner of it that sort of identifies it as special for the 70th anniversary. But Mike, when we were there, we actually tried one of the items, and I thought of you when I tried this because they had what they were calling cowboy fries at the Golden Horseshoe. So these are French fries with nacho cheese and sauteed ground beef, burger sauce, and bread and butter pickles. So,
oh man, I mean,
right? I know.
Disneyland has all the great, like, not meals, but like just, I mean, you could totally make these meals, but man, like, we're without a Pepto Bismol and whatever you need, but it's worth it. Tums. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. Like, they jam at these kind of things.
They do. Oh. This was very good, by the way. So I recommend it. I'm not saying it's good for you, but it was all very tasty. So I know. So now I want to talk about some of the main event things that they have added for the celebration. And first of all, there's a new addition to It's a Small World. So Miguel and Dante are now
Yay!
in It's a Small World, and I thought that was such a sweet addition. I don't know why, like I thought they were already there, maybe, but anyways, it was great to see them there. So that's one of the cool things you can look out for. But they have brought into Disneyland, the park, they brought the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade. So not only does it have like Mickey and Minnie and a bunch of your other pals that are in this short little cavalcade, but Shelley and Duffy are in it.
Gosh,
Love
Duffy
it.
stateside. What's up? I'll be honest. So there's a guy who does a show on Sirius XM every morning called Full Ride. He's a sports guy from 8 to 11 Central. He's a huge Disney fan. I talk to him like he'll let me send him messages during his national show on Sirius XM. He's that big of a Disney fan. He is gonna go to Disneyland just so he can see Duffy. That's how big of a Duffy fan.
Stop. That's awesome.
It's so funny. People love these two, really.
Yeah.
And truly they do. And I know her full name is Shelley May.
Oh yeah.
So, but you know, to those of us who know her well, she's Shelley.
Scotty G's in the fan club for Duffy as well, by the way.
Really? That's funny.
Scotty G
So we got to see that, and that was really cute. It was just a cute little afternoon, you know, cavalcade to do that. But then they also have done 2 new production shows. One of them is on Carthay Circle. Fantastic. It just really sort of embodies like the celebration aspect of it. And the other one is on It's a Small World. They do a whole show on the It's a Small World facade. And it's so, they did such a great job. They brought in Walt. There's some Walt talking in a few different places.
Yeah, I see. I love and hate that at the same time. It's perfect, but dude, I'll be a wreck. Stop it. Like you're at Disneyland, you got Walt, like, yeah, stop. Like all the is happy. Stop. I'm done.
Yes, it is. And it really was. Like we saw it a few times and I loved it. I loved this show. Like for me, when they do the projections on Small World, like that's worth the price of admission to me because they somehow make it do, and they do sometimes at Disney World and the castle too, you know, when they do the projections on the castle, like at different points you think rockets are taking off and whatnot, but somehow they add movement to that stationary building. And they did it here too. And it was showing a few times of the night, so you'll have the opportunity to see it at different times. But the big things that they did, the things that, you know, sort of made me walk away from this, just being like, oh, I can't wait to get back there and see these again, was they have a new World of Color show, and it's World of Color Happiness. And it is hosted by Joy from Inside Out, but our friends, the Muppets, do the pre-show.
I saw this.
I know.
Thank you. You're doing them dirty at the studio.
Right.
Thank you.
And if there's anyone to communicate the terms and conditions of different things, Sam the Eagle.
Yeah, he will make sure you follow the rules to the letter.
Right. Exactly. So I was so thrilled to see that. But not only are they in the pre-show, at the very beginning, the Rainbow Connection song is in it too. So it was like,
and it's done by Boyz II Men,
tears.
and it's gorgeous.
It is. It's
oh
so
my gosh.
awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Jonas Brothers and the Celebrate Happy song.
I'm so addicted to this song. Oh
I know.
my gosh, can I tell you? And I've been playing it for Lucy, and she starts clapping, and she's like dancing in her car seat, and I'm like, I am raising the right daughter. Yes,
It's
I
an
am.
earworm.
Like she loves Celebrate Happy.
It
Oh
is.
my goodness,
It is.
loves it. I have to put it on repeat. Like this past weekend when I was driving around with her in the back of the car, like I had to keep playing it because otherwise she would throw a fit. So yes, it's a great song.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Mommy wasn't sad about that at all. I'm just
No.
gonna say no, not at all.
It's an adorable song. It really is. And it sort of really fits in with that. So I really liked it from start to finish, World of Color. I've seen a bunch of the World of Color incarnations, and actually saw World of Color 1 a few times before we got to see the new version. And I really, really enjoy the song. I think the songs, the projections, the what they're trying to communicate. This World of Color show has an interactive part throughout the day. People can vote for one of four of their favorite Inside Out characters, and I think it was sadness and anger and embarrassment. Is that one? I can't remember all of them, but anyways, I think that's sort of a cute thing, and that whatever character gets the most votes will have sort of a special part in the World of Color show. But I wanted to offer a few tips to this because the World of Color show sort of takes place on the water there. That's in California Adventure. And that is both awesome and challenging because it's not really built into a theater where every seat has a fantastic view of everything. You're going to be able to see things no matter where you're standing. But I think one of the best ways to take in World of Color is to consider the dessert party. And I know it's not inexpensive, but it is worth it for a couple reasons. First of all, you get a little box of really yummy, and it's not just desserts. It has sort of some charcuterie with meat, and yes, ding that bell. Meat, cheese, crackers, things like that. Then it has a bunch of different desserts. It also has a very collectible pin, which is new for this. And the other thing is, when you go there, you actually have a seat for the show that has a great view. And there are both low tables and high top tables. I think both have a really good view. But I will tell you, in the world of Disneyland, where people are there hours before shows to stake their spots,
They are.
this is not a bad idea. At the end of a long day, we were all very glad to pay whatever we paid for the World of Color dessert party because we were sitting our butts down in a seat and waiting for the show to start while we snacked on some different desserts and meat and cheeses. And you also get drinks with that as well. And it includes beer and a cocktail made for that specific dessert party. Also has some sparkling wine and has hot cocoa or soda and things like that. So lots of things from which to choose. So we really enjoyed that and I recommend it.
And are you not in the splash zone in that area? Because we stood on the very front rail when I went to see it the very first time. We did. It was like the thing at the studios back in the day, where Scott lost his wedding ring. We didn't get that wet, but I mean, you're pretty damp.
You do, and on a windy day, you're really going to get wet.
That night. Yeah,
so, not officially in the zone, but you will get some mist probably based on, that. So.
You're part of the show. Look at it that way.
Right, exactly. There's also a dinner package as well. But I will tell you, I really prefer the dessert party. You have the seats, and I think that makes a difference. So look, you've been walking around all day at Disneyland. You're tired. You want to sit down. So it was totally, totally worth it for that. And then, what am I forgetting? Oh, how could I forget a little thing called Paint the Night?
Exactly why I want to go out there, man. I cannot wait to see that. Oh my! Think about this, though. I mean, we've been dying for a nighttime parade. You're going to have Paint the Night in this new parade at the Magic Kingdom.
I know.
Boom! It's an embarrassment of riches all of a sudden.
Right. Disney is delivering with this one. So I saw the last time Paint the Night was put on. It was actually put on at California Adventure. And I think at one point before our blip, didn't we have, there were rumors that it was coming to World, or it might have actually been announced. And then it has not. Well, it's back now. And this time it's back at Disneyland. And that is such a very cool spot to have it because you get lots of great backdrops and things like that. But also the Tapestry of Happiness, which is the name of the show, the projection show, and it's a small world. If you're back there to see that, you can also see Paint the Night. It comes back through that area. So it gives you sort of a home base for your nighttime stuff, right? If you're back there. And we really, really enjoyed it. I love that parade. I am certainly not alone because I will tell you, we were at the end of the parade route. Those performers in that parade were so jazzed when they got there, and the crowd goes nuts. Like, you don't hear the kind of cheering and stuff like this in Florida as you do when you're at Disneyland. They know each, group that's coming through. They know, when they see the big truck from the Cars movie, like what's coming next, and there are performers in between each of the big floats, for lack of a better word, and they know what's coming, and those characters sort of interact with the people there. Like, literally, when the music starts, and it has such a catchy tune, it's the song from Wreck-It Ralph, right? When can I,
Oh, when can I see you again? I love
yes,
that. I
yes.
love that song.
Right, I know. So as soon as that sound starts and the parade's coming, people have these little like light up paint brushes for Paint the Night. Now I didn't know, I didn't look to see if they were selling them or if they were from another, the other version of Paint the Night. But people were immediately like singing, dancing. It was just, it's like a sweet moment. It really was a very, very sweet moment. And I just love how it charges the park. Like, nighttime at Disneyland is unlike anything else. So
I agree.
it's just, it was awesome. So
a parade is like, I've said this forever for World, right? When it was missing a nighttime parade, which it has for a decade or more, it's something's missing. It's like it brings everybody back together one more time, and it's like a communal rally. Like, everybody gets back together. We all meet on Main Street or Frontierland, and you get to see your characters one last time before you go home and go to bed. And it's kind of like it's the complement to the fireworks when you have the fireworks too. It's just. But I mean, it sounds like Disneyland is going to be a plus version of it. I can't wait to see that.
I know. It really is cool. And just to top up some other things, they're still showing Wondrous Journeys, which is the nighttime show out there, the fireworks show at Disneyland over the castle. If you've not seen it, these fireworks are incredible. And I will just give you a little hint. Baymax flies for these. So I know, right? So it's very, very cool. There's a new scene in Midway Mania that sort of gives a nod to the 70th, little enhancements there for that. And they're still doing the Better Together, the Pixar Pals Celebration Parade. Again, there are sort of dining options available for that. But there's just so much to love about everything that's happening there right now. I hope that people come and see it, because I think it's just going to be one of those celebrations you don't want to miss. Like, the 70th doesn't happen that often, and it's a big celebration. Like, they did a great job. And we stayed at, I wanted to talk about this too, we stayed at the Grand Californian, but we also stayed at Pixar Place, which is what they redid that one hotel to. And it is so cute. I just love all the nods to Pixar with this. So lots of good stuff happening.
Well, plus two soon. I think it's opening here in the next couple of weeks. They're going to have, the Walt Disney show alternating with Lincoln in the opera house.
Yes. The first Walt Disney audio animatronic. I think it's going to happen in July, maybe during.
I think it's the 17th
official anniversary.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's 17th.
It's like a couple months, so we're still got a while on that. But yeah,
I know.
Oh man, so what was your favorite float this time in Paint the Night? I mean, it was one that, because there is a new one, isn't there? They brought Frozen.
They do have Frozen. Oh man. You know what? The one that they lead with Tinkerbell, sort of like, she's on the front of this lit up float and kind of swoops around. It's awesome to see. Like, Tinkerbell is moving, and the big truck from Cars.
Yeah, Mac. I love Mac.
I got 18-wheeler Mac.
Yes. You get lost in it when it like goes past, like his face goes past, and then you have the whole like length of the semi. Like, it's like 3D almost. It's so crazy. There are just so many good ones. And of course, when you end with Mickey, that's kind of a big one too. So many good ones. So many good ones. So
Disneyland is great on a normal day.
Yes.
Celebration, let's go. I mean, let's go. Well, Pam, thanks so much for the coverage, and
yes. It was awesome. Disney has a lot of celebrations, but this one sort of exceeded my expectations, so it's awesome.
when it's on a year that ends with 0 and it's at Disneyland, I mean, it's special, right? It has to be.
Yes,
It has to
yes,
be right.
for sure.
Very good. All right, so we're going to be back on Sunday night with a live call-in show. So if you have any questions, comments, talking Disneyland, let's do it Sunday night. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, all the places, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Scott will be with me. We'll be taking your calls, having a good time. So join us for that. But don't forget, our show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get out to Disneyland here over the next year because you got plenty of time. But like I said, summer is a great time to get out there. Fall is a great time to get out there. I'll be out there for the races this winter. Just get out there, celebrate, bring home the big key. I got to get your take on the big key. But the popcorn bucket, and see if Mickey talks to you all the way home on the plane. It'll be fun. But all the good stuff's out there. We want to help you have a great time, make those memories with those people you love, where it all started for us Disney fans. So check out all the details. We can get you to World, sailing on the Disney Cruise Line, even seeing the world with Adventures by Disney. No additional cost to you. That's the best deal of all. So check them out over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's one extra click and it supports our show each and every time. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you sincerely to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us going. $5 a month. It's a cup of coffee a month, and that keeps the show going. So we appreciate you so very much. You can support us as well. Just come over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike on x.com. Let's see, Instagram and Threads. Pam is at TMFLT Pam, so give her a follow. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. And I think that's about it. So we're back in on Sunday night for the call-in show, Monday with a great trip report. But until then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and kick off summer the right way. Get to the pool. It's going to be cool here in St. Louis. Kind of stinks. Oh, and also, shout out to my wife, Pam. Today is her last day of teaching ever. School is out this summer. School is
definitely out forever. Yes.
28 years of elementary school teaching, 9 of those with me next door bugging her to death. That's right. She made it. So
yes.
We're going to celebrate tonight. So
that's awesome.
Yep. We'll be celebrating by having Mexican food and margaritas, just like
there you go.
Always, except we usually don't have margaritas. All right. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Oh, we made it.
Yay.
That's good stuff, Pam. Good job.
I'm glad. Yes, I will do. Yeah, anytime Disneyland stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Go enjoy dinner.
So yes, tell PM congratulations.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Definitely.
It's quite the accomplishment for sure.
Absolutely.
How much she's still employed? I'll find out.
Yeah. Of course.
I will not be here next Monday.
I will not be here Monday either. So
just Scott and I'll do it.
Cool. So.
All right.
All right. Awesome
All right.
sauce. Okay.
Bye,
we'll see you guys. Bye.